Hi, welcome to Rajil 9. In today's video, I am going to discuss about the JQL part because as SQL, because which is called a structured query language, especially whenever we are working on JIRA application, there are some JQL queries which normally we write to extract the information, whatever is required and related for us. So in this regard, so today I am explaining you about this importance of JQL and how to search with JQL and what are the elements which are available in JQL in reference to the script runner, which is part of JIRA. Even Groovy scripting and all if we want to write. So script runner is something essentially important and mandatory when we are working on JIRA, I'm talking about, especially useful to the people who are working for JIRA admin roles, all that. So this is what generally JQL part was. If you want to search for JQLs and all everything, so in script runner, because script runner where we can download it from the apps itself, you can see there is an option called apps, so that here in this marketplace you can download this script runner and you can get it connected with that. We can do it. So once it is done in this script runner, here you can see there is an option called JQL Search. Right, so in this JQL search, we need to understand and we need to update all that, right? If you want to add any kind of queries and all everything, here the queries can be added, right? So adding a query is what we have to do, right? So whatever the queries and all everything is what we have to have to be added with. Now, if you want to add any kind of queries, all that, so here we can see there is an option called plus. Here we have to update, right? So whatever the selection links, whatever is related and all everything is what we need to update, right? So we need to link all the issues, whatever the editable queries do we have, right? So all these queries has to be updated, maybe for availability functionalities are relating for different things. For example, you want to know about the next sprint part, right? So you want to know about a query which is relating to the next sprint. So we need to mention the board ID, right? So whatever the board ID do we have and all, right? So in reference to the project, whatever the project are we working on, if there is anything of that sort, we have to mention the ID number. So whatever the related applications we have, right? So all these application details has to be mentioned. The board ID number has to be updated. That's what generally this next sprint is being used for. But majorly we use this is for issues which are in epics. This is one kind of availability which we have to do, wherein we need to update the information which is something related here, all that, right? So there are some updations which is to be made in reference to the points whatever we have taken, right? So how we are taken, all that. This sort of updations can be done, right? So in these issues in epics, all that. At the same time, if you want to link any kind of issues and all, here you can see there is an option called link issues. At the same time, linked issues, recursives, or at the same time, if you want to create any kind of subtasks or something of that sort, we can create subtasks even sequentially, right? Whatever the subtasks and all everything is what we need to create. So these sort of subtasks is what we have to create, right? So creation of subtask, whatever, if you want to create for the projects, whatever we have taken so far, whatever the related items do we have. So we can see, right? So you can see closely whenever I'm just creating it. So you can see over here, whatever relating to the functionalities and all, you can see 59 were found, right? So that's what it was showing you. I hope you got an idea now. At the same time, issues and epics, whatever the issues which are available on epic and all everything is what we need to know, right? So that is also one of the key element which we have to be used for. At the same time, if you want to know about any kind of data comparisons, etc., right? Any data comparisons to be made, right? So for example, if you want to know about actual start, right? Date of offset, followed by any kind of queries to write, right? For example, whatever the queries. So make sure we need to create queries first, right? So otherwise, Because unless until if you are not adding the queries and all everything, this subqueries won't work, right? So that is what is needed. At the same time, whatever the operators do we have, operator equal to. So data fields, right? So actual and whatever the data sets and all everything we have to update. And we need to mention the query, whatever the queries do we have, all that, right? So that sort of queries we have to update substantially. Whatever the queries and all everything is what we have to update. But make sure when you want to write any functionalities and queries and all everything in this script runner, for especially for writing JQL queries, all that stuff, queries has to be written prior, right? So unless until if you are not writing the queries and all, so this is not something going to be useful, right? So that is something which we have to be very clear with. That's the reason why here you can see there is an option where we can see, right? There are different queries we have to write. So different queries, right? So whatever the queries do we have, right? So apply, right? So different queries, right? So whatever the queries which are something related, right? So all these queries we can write down the queries like, right? So for example, it can be sprint, right? So it can be of user stories, right? So all that, right? So all these things we need to create the type of queries, whatever are we using here. At the same time, we need to mention the information, whatever is related, right? So whatever is needed. So for example, whatever the name, for example, name, right? So name we want to know, right? So name or string, right? So we have to update all the string details. So all these things has to be updated substantially. So based on that, whatever the related informations and all everything, we can update it here. But make sure if you want to do this, here there is an option where sort by. So this is basically an alphabetical order. This can be created first. Or if you want to shade by you first and all everything, this is where generally we have to sort. So based on the sort button, whatever is related and all everything, that SQL queries and the JQL queries and all everything is what we have to. But make sure whenever you are going to create SQL queries, all that, JQL queries, all that, you can see there must be an option where it has to sync properly. Unless until if it is not synced, uh, it is not usually viable, right? So this is what and how uh, usually the script runner in reference to the JQL queries and all everything is all about, right? So I think I've created some JQL queries, all that in earlier session. I made a video. I hope so, right? So otherwise, in coming days, I'll create one more video exclusive for how to write queries and all everything in coming videos, so that you'll have an idea more over this. So this is all about this. If you have any questions, if you have any constraint queries, all that, please reach out to the contact details, which will be posted in below to this video. Thank you.